I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Andy Nelson.
Welcome to The Next Reel. When the movie ends,
our conversation begins.
Simone is over. Our ability to manufacture fraud exceeds our ability to detect it. This movie, Andy.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Andrew Niccol, a director we genuinely like. Writer-director.
Yeah,
I mean, Gattaca
absolutely.
is fantastic. Truman Show, which he wrote, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Lord of War, fantastic. In Time, but In Time is really interesting.
Strains a little bit, but wonderful. Lord of War, you said it. Man, commit to the grit, Lord of War.
Got a sequel to that coming out he's working on. I've missed a few of his films, like The Host, Good Kill, and Anon, but...
The Host was, I mean, for what it was, adaptation of a YA dystopian book.
Good old Stephanie Meyer. We've talked about plenty of her.
Right? It's good. I mean, it does what it needs to do.
It does its job, yeah.
Yep.
And he wrote the story for The Terminal. So, I mean, yeah, genuinely, I enjoy what Andrew Niccol is up to. And then there's this one, Pete.
Yeah. No, so to say this movie was, I don't know, ahead of its time in many respects. It was a conceit that I think was very much, prescient. And I think that's a totally fair assessment of the film. And I think to treat it as a satire and to lean in on the audience's impression of what they want being manifest in cinema and advertising and TV and all of that is, I think, an interesting conceit. It is an interesting thing to take on. And maybe it's that much more difficult. I mean, I don't think the movie was great when it came out. I'll just say it's a competent film that wasn't a great film. But I think it's made even harder by seeing the cultural adaptations that have come since and how it just sort of wrong the movie ended up being about some really key points. And, as a sociological experiment, I think it's fascinating. This movie is maybe one of the most interesting that we've talked about in our Thinking Machines series, if not one of the best. Is that too gentle? Am I being gentle on it?
One of the best in what capacity?
Of the series. If it's not one of the best of the series, but it is one of the most interesting.
I mean, it's an interesting one. It's also a tricky one, honestly, for this series, because in the scope of actual Thinking Machines, it's the only one that doesn't actually fit.
Right.
Right? Like we have, and we put it on the list for our members to vote on, and they picked this one. I think when the trailer came out, I had never seen it before. I thought that it was more of an AI creation that he had made. I didn't realize that, no, it's just a shell of an actress that had been created digitally that he essentially performs. Like Al Pacino's character, it's a digital puppet that he performs for everything. Like he's doing all the lines, he's doing all the programming, all the movements and everything. And so I think in the scope of Thinking Machines, it actually doesn't fit. But in the scope of where we are today with AI creations and AI performers, it's actually a very interesting seed to see how things grew and changed.
Okay, so I just want to talk through a couple of points because I'm like you. Like my memory of the movie was that it was much more of a creation.
You had seen it.
Yeah. But there are two bits in the movie where the Simone is acting with agency. And the movie does not lean in on those things at all. One, he is in the audience of the Academy Awards, and she's giving her speech. And the speech that he programmed does not thank him. And the way it's interpreted, the way it could be interpreted when he says, why did she not say that, is that she was expressing agency. The other time was there was the whole setup with the interview, and she was talking on her own, and he had to run back into the studio, into the, why the hell do you put the computer in the middle of a 30,000 square foot soundstage? Put it by the door, man.
Or put it in a little room, right?
Or put it in a small room. Yeah, what are you doing? Anyway. So I feel like those are expressions of agency that the movie never commits to, the story never commits to. This was, for all intents and purposes, a mashup of Pygmalion and Frankenstein, and in either of those cases, the creation outshines the creator, and this movie doesn't commit to the bit. It's like the central conceit is that Simone should have exceeded the abilities of her creator, and she never does. She only gives hints to it. So I take it those didn't hit you the same way.
I think maybe it's just sloppy construction as far as like how he created those, because the way I interpreted both of those specific situations is the Oscars, it was clearly a pre-programmed creation that he had created to play at the Oscars, right?
Right.
After the whole thing, it cuts to him sitting in front of his desk talking to his creation. He's like, why did I leave that out? What was I thinking? Like, it makes it sound like he was so much
his error.
It was his error. It makes it seem like he was so much in her head as he was recording it that he didn't even think about putting that in there. And so it seemed like, because it's him who's doing it. So I think when he's doing it, it might be weird to say, oh, and thank you so much, Victor, even though he does it plenty of other times. Right. So that's how it came off to me. Like, he had just kind of forgotten that was kind of an important part of the speech that he should have put in there. The second one, the way that is set up, this is when it's a table read with the other actors for this script that they're all going to be working on. And the way that it plays is she starts the conversation in a way where everybody is going to go around the table and introduce themselves. And it seemed like a pre-recorded start that he had, where he's going to say, okay, this is how it's going to go. Hi, everybody. So nice to meet you. Tell me all about yourselves. Let's go around the table. And that was essentially the setup. And that gave him time to then run and get to his computer station before everybody got around through their turns, so that he could be in front of his computer as soon as that initial program ended, so that he could then kind of continue the conversation. That's how I read both situations. So I didn't see any AI activity coming at all from her.
Okay, but did you expect the AI activity to come from her? Because I think you said it. It's sloppy construction. I think the movie would be better if she did lean harder on the Frankenstein adaptation, right? That she becomes the thing that has outpaced her creator and becomes the actress. Like, that's the story I wanted.
Well, that's the story I think that I wanted too. And so I think it was a surprise to me that that's absolutely not the story we get, because it's just a story of, again, a puppet master. And that's all the story is. And so it was a real surprise to me that there is no AI in the film. And I think it makes it less interesting when it's just a puppet. You know, like, I think the AI, but maybe in 2002, that was about at the level that we were ready to think about that sort of thing, you know? I don't know.
I don't know, man. We've been talking about movies in this series from the 70s. Like, we were talking about this stuff.
That's true.
That's why this seems like such a whiff.
Yeah, it really does. You've just heard an excerpt of our Thinking Machines conversation about Andrew Niccol's Simone, the story of a director who builds the perfect digital actress and then can't figure out how to make her disappear. And here's where things get a little meta. What you just heard is our public version, curated, a performance, real enough to feel like the whole thing. The full conversation, where we go deeper into the film, the filmmaking, and what Niccol is really getting at about celebrity, authenticity, and the things we choose to believe, that's in the member feed. To get in, head to TruStory.fm/join. Membership gets you monthly member bonus episodes like this one, including special series picks voted on by members, early access to ad-free episodes across the whole Next Reel family, The Next Reel, The Film Board, Sitting in the Dark, Movies We Like, and CinemaScope. Additional pre-show and post-show segments on select episodes, and access to members-only areas in our Discord community. Plus the ongoing film talk in our Show Talk channel. It's $5 a month or $55 for the year. Head to TruStory.fm/join. That's TRUSTORY.fm/join. What's real anymore? The conversation in the member feed is. The Next Reel. When the movie ends, our conversation begins.